Okay, everybody, welcome to the Black Box Studio for a very special one-on-one with me and our new Director of Earned Media and PR, Jamie. Jamie, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this is a bit different. Usually we're talking about different stuff in here, but we thought it was a great opportunity to introduce you to all of our audiences and to tell them a little bit about the things we've got planned in this very specific area of our provision, which is earned media. So why don't you kick off? Who are you? Let's start there. I know, but who are you? Where are you from? What's the background?
Well, firstly, I'm used to being that side of the camera.
I know you're bricking it, so it's fine.
I'm used to being that side of the camera, helping clients shine a light on their story, their product, their brand. Yes, so I'm Jamie. I've got 27 odd years of marketing.
He's an old dog.
I'm
like
an old
me.
dog. Marketing experience, 10 years of sort of food retail, FMCG, marketing and sort of community engagement experience, and then 17 years in a full service agency, servicing clients predominantly in the sort of automotive, marine and maritime industries.
And this is where our paths crossed.
We did, yeah.
Do you want to tell everyone where we first found ourselves working in the same space?
I think we found ourselves working alongside each other on a Suzuki project.
Yeah.
A London Boat Show many years ago.
When I was just a whippersnapper, of course. And we also tied in with the Suzuki project on something called the Gore-Tex Arctic Challenge,
Of
which
course,
Suzuki supplied some stuff in as well. So we had history. And one of the reasons I'm really pleased that you're with us is that mix of pure play traditional PR and media, but also that really sharp eye for the future of what's happening in this space and how we integrate earned media into that wider marketing challenge. So we'll get on to that. So I guess for a lot of people, they're wondering, what does the future look like? We're planning some new ideas. What should people be thinking about earned media and PR for the future, in your opinion?
Well, I think the blurred lines between marketing and PR are going to get blurrier. You know, we're already seeing PR professionals using marketing-led strategies like SEO to reach their target audiences. So I think that's going to increase. I think events, live face-to-face events is going to be key. I have it on good authority from industry contacts of mine that business is booming at the moment. And you know, post-COVID, you had, obviously, events just took a real hit. But now they're really back full blast, and I think they're going to be an increasingly useful platform for both PR, comms, and internal comms.
And they
as well.
generate so much additional content.
Absolutely,
is the other thing. You can use once, re-rinse many times through all of your social channels, all of that. So you can use that as a vehicle.
Yeah.
The SEO one's interesting because it is earning reputation, and that's the nub of it.
Absolutely.
What other things should people be thinking about if they're sat there going, is my earned strategy really there?
Well, I think lastly, one of the other things that I think is going to continue to increase is that personal brand building, that thought leadership, as we continue to humanize brands, which I think is really important for authenticity and relatability as well.
I guess a big part of that, which plays a role now, is the personality of the business leader within the space. And it's always been a Branson-esque sort of vibe, but now it's very different. There's lots of different personalities within the business world. And I guess a good role for us as marketing and PR and earned media people is to think about, how do I develop the reputation of that person, not just so that they can affect the quality of the sell or the customer, but it's also that internal piece.
Absolutely.
So have you got a view on sort of the value of thinking about internal comms and the impact that can have on the business?
And I think quite often within the discussion of PR and comms, I think internal comms sometimes gets forgotten. And I think it's so important. The communication to your wider group of colleagues and employees, because they can be your biggest ambassadors. Yeah. You know, that it's a really quick win to have that effective communication to your wider employee group. I think that's so valuable.
It plays. I mean, if we take, and I'm only picking this example because we've both worked in this, but Suzuki, for instance, which is dependent on dealer networks.
Yeah.
And then that's dependent on the reputation of the sales guys going out into that space. And then that's dependent on tooling those guys up with great enablement and stories and featuring them in, Powerboat and Rib Magazine or whatever those things are, lifting everybody.
Exactly. It's profile building. Yeah. Across the board, whether it's, retail or dealer teams through to the top level CEOs. And
Yeah, and a big bit of where, again, we cross over on when we get into that event space, which, I mean, if you're watching this and you're a marketing director, you might think, well, that's paid for. It is, but then you can generate earned value off that. And, everything from the quality of the speech writing, the presentation, that's going to define whether you get the column inches and whether you get that recognition for what you're doing.
It's all integrates, and it's making your brand, your business accessible. So, it gives you a platform to interact with customers, prospective suppliers, journalists, media, and so on and so forth. And that just makes you more accessible, makes you more visible. So, that's always going to help generate that earned media.
So when we started talking to each other and think about what we're going to try and do together here, a lot of the emphasis was on that value of not just looking at it through a PR media lens. You've got a media landscape that's fragmented, to say the least. But we talked a lot about how we actually put things in place that would help marketing or PR leads just do a better job. But how does that begin and how does that start? And how do they start engaging with you and the subject of that? And what do you think they should be looking out for? Or what questions should they be asking themselves about what they're doing?
Well, I guess first...
There's a lot of questions there.
That was the Jonathan Ross style
just ask you everything in one go.
It's the machine gun approach. I guess firstly, they should be looking at, what are they doing now? Is it working? Is it delivering what they need it to be? Is it moving the dial on perceptions of their brand or awareness of their brand or product? If it's not, then it's time to switch it up and do something different.
How hard is it to start looking at switching something up like that, though?
It's easy. It's just, it's literally just kind of look at what you're doing, and is it giving you a return on investment? Is it changing? Is it doing what it needs to do?
I'll pose you a hard question, Mr. PR man.
Is it reaching your audience?
PR is always cited as the one that's hard to get a clear return on investment from.
It's very true.
How are we planning to sort of how do we change that up in our new world order? Is there ways of being much more clearer about what goes in and what you get out of these sort of processes now, do you think, with measurability?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many really good media monitoring tools out there and ways of not only recording and reporting on all the coverage you're getting, but we can report on sentiment and engagement and understanding what it means and what effect it's having. And I come back to the fact that it's not PR and comms. It's not standalone. It's integrated with all of your other marketing efforts, and it should be consistent and correlate with it all.
And that's a big bit about what we're trying to do in a wider picture with Carswell Gould, with all of our different specialisms, is have really good subject matter experts in different spaces, but people that are willing not to work in silos. And I think that's the ingredient of a great business plan and a great marketing plan. Okay, so we've got you here. You're ready to roll, and I guess the message is you're happy to talk to people about what they're up to. But how can they get in touch? Who do you want to talk to? What do you want to happen next here? What are your hopes and dreams?
I'm looking to work on the mantra of regional roots and global reach, and by that I mean coming in to strengthen and augment the great work that the CG team are already doing for our clients, both regionally, nationally, and internationally.
Yeah, and I think that there's that wider opportunity now in this space where you've sort of framed it a little bit. I've heard similar to you, face-to-face. In a world of AI, how do we make something that's believable when it's earned? One of the answers to that is to increase face-to-face. Another one of those is to be really clear about what your earned strategy is and how that aligns to your brand values and what that means. Yeah. So if you're sat there and you're thinking about, I don't know what the bloody hell these guys are talking about. What does this mean? Then get in touch. If you're sat there and you're thinking, I've got it nailed, you probably haven't. Get in touch.
Yes,
but we're
yeah.
open for business, and we're inviting people to come and talk to you.
Absolutely.
And just to see what they're up to. Is that right?
Absolutely. No, it all starts with a conversation, and it all starts with understanding the client brief and the client objectives. What are they trying to say, and who are they talking to? And I think it was Henry McCann that coined the phrase "truth well told," and that's always resonated with me. It all starts with that truth, that core truth, and then finding ways of bringing that to life in ways that resonate with the target audience. And that's the thing, you've got to find those ways of reaching your audience.
I think that's a great place to end.
Sounds good to me.